I like them apples. There are some suspiciously good monsters in the Fusion Hexagram within Summoner's War, so today I'm going to tell you the top 5 for RTA. Because even if you're not summoning a lot of monsters, you can use these farmable options instead. Things that will not be making an appearance on the list: Fran, Lauren, etc. Because even though they're farmable, they are not fusible. They did not appear in the Fusion Hexagram, thus making them disqualified. Number 5, Gapu, the Dark Dokebi Lord. He stuns, he does damage, he kinda strips, and he applies a brand. Plus, I like to call him Daddy Raccoony because his passive heals the lowest HP ally automatically at the start of his turn, and he also cycles his own attack bar. Every time an enemy heals, he's gonna gain 10% of that, which is really cool because there are tons of monsters with incidental healing in the meta right now. The Fire Pudding Princess, Riley, Raccoony, Molly, Varamos, Juno, Kinky, all of the Onimushas, really. It procs off a lot of things. The only reason why he's so low on the list is because he's still fairly new at the time of recording, and I think we've just scratched the surface of the Gapu iceberg. We'll be seeing more of him, probably. Maybe. Number 4 is Suiki, the Water Onimusha. Suiki gets stronger with every turn that passes. Plus, he has a lot of sustain from both his skill 1 and skill 2. The first skill also applies defense break, and the second one is an AoE that attacks 2 times. He's a great option for when you know a game is going to kind of go into the mid to late game and you're up against some fire options, or even neutral up against water. Suiki even saw some play in SWC, which was pretty cool. I mean, if somebody takes your Kinky, he's a pretty good option. Same against the Fire Monkey King. If you haven't given Suiki a chance, you definitely should. Number 3, Verd, the Fire Vampire. Super flexible monster, just like me, actually. Oh, have I shown you guys this? Check this out. You can root him on triple revenge when you know that AoE is coming. If you see your enemy drafting a Chung Pung and other things that can strip AoE, it might behoove you to pick a Vertihile so that way you can have a chance to counterattack and gain some attack bar. You could also go for a more traditional approach, run him on violent revenge, or you could ditch the whole revenge angle and just go for a swift Verd. Never underestimate the power of a swift Verd to start out your RTA game. A clutch little 40% attack bar for your whole team is very valuable. Number 2 is Varamos the Dark Ifrit. I won't spend too much time talking about him because he just got a How to Rune video on the channel, but essentially Varamos has gotten a few notable buffs that have put him back in the meta both in PvE and made him a viable option to counter debuff heavy comps in RTA. A few keystone monsters to bring him up against would be Shizuka, her sister Tomoe, Belinus, to an extent, more so Neftis, to be honest. Things to look out for though, Varamos really does not like attack bar reduction, or getting stunned. More so attack bar reduction I've found though, so bringing him up against Nolliver is not always recommended. However, he's still a great unit. Great at shutting down bomb comps too. Finally, number 1, Riley the Wind Totemist. To this day, Riley is one of the best sustain units available in RTA. She has everything. Incidental heals on skill 1, turns of immunity, a skill 3 that cleanses a debuff. She's really smart about which one she cleanses to sometimes. Attack buff, and all of that at once sends the cleanse on a skill 4. Plus, thanks to her passive, that 4th skill does not have a cooldown time. So that means that she's partially immune to increased cooldown time effects, as well as things with silence, because silence only cares about skills with cooldown times. So even if you can't use the rest of your kit, you could still use that skill 4. Riley is proven to have staying power, and she's part of the reason why units like Gapu exist. Does your top 5 look like mine? Let me know if there are any from the Fusion Hexagram that I didn't put on my list, but you would put on your top 5. So you see this, right? You see how I can grab my hand or whatever? Okay, now check this out. If I go to the other side, isn't that weird?